morning, everybody. Morning. Did everybody get coffee or tea like me? Yes. Well, I'm excited for this panel because we have a lot of lovely ladies on this panel. We got Miss Jennifer Hale to my right. Woo! Brittney Lauda to my left. Miss Danielle McRae. And Miss Ellen there on the left. And I'm Landa, but you don't need to. So we figured, if it's all right with you ladies, that this would be pretty much a regular Q&A, that you would provide the Qs and we would provide the As. I do want to ask the ladies up here, is there any issue with anyone recording this panel? Would you prefer them not to? Okay, because sometimes people forget to ask. Right? Yeah. So, either way, we figured we would just do a regular Q&A. So, but if you ladies would like, we could also do a little intro, perhaps.
I like the Q&A.
All right, let's do the Q&A, man. So who's going to be the first person? Ooh! Yeah.
Is there like our understanding?
Yes, sir.
I can project. I posed this question at a previous voice actor panel. I had inquired how many of them were improvers, because I heard them mention it. And a vast majority of them were. I was just wondering if there's, whether it be improv, if there's any other activities you're involved in that like definitely helps your skills as a voice actor. I know obviously Ellen is an opera singer, which must do wonders for your vocal endurance. So whether it be improv or anything else.
I've definitely heard that improv can be helpful, absolutely. Myself, I will admit, I never got into improv too much when I was in theater, taking theater classes. I was always, it's really funny, I was always a little too nervous to take improv. So instead, I took whatever improv skills that my fellow actors used, and I just brought it into my own experience. So whenever I'm at a con, I kind of improv there. I know that sounds weird, but I will be very outgoing and I'll just take risks while I'm on stage. I'll make really stupid jokes, I'll do this, I'll do that. And that actually does help you get out of your skin a little bit. It helps you get out of your shell, and it allows you to make other people feel comfortable to approach you as well. And it also has helped me within this industry as well to meet other actors, to meet other directors and all that. That can definitely help. But as for performance, yeah, I mean, it's pretty much helped me in many different ways, but improv I would definitely recommend.
I find it extremely helpful because most of what we do in, especially in game acting, is cold reading. You get no opportunity to look at it ahead of time, so you need that muscle of, I don't know, let's just jump, you know? And improv's great for that. Yeah, and then, as you said, the singing training, the breathing, the voice control, all that is phenomenal.
Yeah, for me, I sing a lot, so singing has helped me a lot with creating new voices and just maintaining them. So for me, it's singing. Some improv, but mostly singing.
I have two really strange things that I'm going to share. One, I helped out at a local comic book store as characters dressed up, and I definitely find that helps because you get into character, and especially when you're trying to keep kids entertained and give them the vision that you are the character, so you got to be able to jump into that character and fit that and not spoil the surprise for the children. And I love doing that, and it's really fun. And then my second thing is I was a history major in school, and my thesis was about Japanese film and animation as an expression of disaster anxiety and victimized consciousnly. And how I felt that helped me was I was always analyzing everything, and it really helped me with character work because it got me into the frame of character analysis and character creation and why these characters do that, why that, and how settings influence things, how mood influences things and everything, and that really helped me as an actress.
And there's one other thing, Dee Baker, actually Kath Soucy suggested it to Dee Baker, and it's a phenomenal thing, which is read out loud.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not, you know, in public necessarily. Or you can actually, he does it when he's walking his dog. He walks down the street reading a book out loud. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So we can hear you.
When you're not like voice acting and stuff like that, what are your hobbies and what do you do in your spare time?
I'm outside. I'm outside if at all possible. I rock climb, I ride horses, I mountain bike, I travel, I ski, I volunteer. Yeah.
I'm not outside. Well, I'm not as much of an outsider as Miss Jennifer here, but I am a huge fitness nerd. I am at the gym most of the time, 6 days a week, unless
Gun show.
Yeah. I am proud to show off these guns. It took me a while. No, I'm a huge fitness nerd. I am always at the gym. It helps me feel absolutely amazing. And for those of you who are not really, oh my God, I cannot talk this morning, excuse me. Thank you. English, it comes out.
English now.
It is.
Speaking the English now.
Exercising working out can help you feel so much better.
Yeah.
When you are feeling just not good at all, when you're having a really sucky day, it can help so much because it helps your brain breathe. It helps you breathe. Even if you don't like it that much, huh?
Oh my God, that should help so much.
It does, very much so. Like even if you go for, a quick walk outside or a jog or whichever, it helps so much. But that's my main hobby. I also am a freelance photographer, which I love to do. But yes, definitely a huge fitness nerd.
I have the cutest Shiba Inu puppy in the world. She's 8 months and her name's Raven, and I love her.
Stop it.
And so what I like to do in my free time is I love to play fetch with her and play outside. If I make like one motion that looks like I'm jumping, she's running around the house excited. So I take her for lots of walks and I play with her a lot. And then other than that, I write game reviews and analytical papers. So that's me.
Me, I am a gym nerd too. I love going to the gym nerd.
Where were you guys this morning?
I know. I was sleeping.
Oh, come on.
I love working out. I love pumping weights, so that's what I usually have to do. And I love drawing. I've been drawing forever, and I do that for fun as well. But it's mostly either the gym or me drawing.
Your question.
What advice do you guys have for people who are nervous for auditions?
Everybody's nervous for auditions, and if they say otherwise, they're liars.
Right? Right?
Absolutely.
Breathing. If you focus on your breathing. Now, of course, a lot of us do our auditions in our homes, in our home studios. You don't get quite so nervous there. But if you're talking about going out and, doing an on-stage audition, I tell my voice students to focus on their breathing. And you're not doing an audition, you're doing a performance. And you are the character that you are portraying. And you are speaking to someone specific. If you're doing a monologue from the Fantastics and you're Louisa. This morning a bird woke me up. You're Louisa. And you're talking to yourself. You're never doing an audition, you're always doing a performance.
Yep.
Absolutely great advice. What was the question? I'm sorry, Molly.
For nerves.
Oh, for nerves. Her name is Molly. She's adorable. Hi, Molly. Yeah, for auditions, definitely. I think I'd like to say that I don't get nervous for auditions anymore, but I think I know.
Ellen, I don't know what you really think.
I'd like to say that, but I don't think any actor doesn't get nervous over auditions because we want to get the gig. But no, it's true that of course when you're at home, it's not the same. When you go into the studio, it can be a little intimidating, but absolutely, you just have to remember that you kind of have to pretend that is the gig.
It is the gig.
Yeah.
It is the gig. For that 5 minutes, it is your gig. You get to perform this craft, on rare occasions, and you go do what you do. It's 5 minutes to do what you do and have the joy that you have doing it. And it's none of your business if you get it or not. There's a million factors. There's a bazillion factors. The truth is that everyone auditioning is probably quite good. I could do a wonderful job. I call it kiwis and tangelos. You're either right for it, you're either that flavor that works in the recipe, or you're not. Be the best flavor you can, have fun being it. Also separate your money from your craft as much as you can. Even if you make your money with your craft, just leave your money to the universe and to your own good management. And then your craft is your craft. But also develop a relationship with anxiety and fear. People push it away, and what you persist just gets stronger. What you resist. So go put yourself in situations that scare the crap out of you, as long as they're actually objectively safe. You know, go to places that make you anxious as hell, so you get into a relationship with your own anxiety and your own fear, and you're not gonna be completely. You're like, oh yeah, I know you. Come on, just take my hand. We're going. You know, yeah.
Absolutely, the fun part. Always go in and have fun. If you aren't going to look like someone who a director can work with, why would they want to work with you if you're uptight and rude, or show them that you have a little fun in you and you can work the piece, and that you're not going to be uptight and someone they don't want to work with.
Yeah, and the truth is, it's not about you. It's about the project. So
Exactly.
and when you're going in that room, like Ellen was saying, you're not you. You're that person. So you don't even exist. So just go enjoy that. It's quite relieving.
Ditto.
He actually brought up a good point, actually, about basic work ethic, too. When you go into an audition, or even if you've worked with someone for years, don't go in acting like a, just be professional, but also be good company to talk to, be pleasant. Don't go in and be unpleasant, because that's very easy for them to replace you. They can find someone else to replace you. It might not be easy for them, might be a pain for them production-wise, but apart from that, they can easily replace you if you're not doing the job right, or if you're making it horrible for them. So,
Thank you.
yeah.
How do you go about getting an audition?
Yeah.
How do you start with that?
That is a $64,000
Yeah.
question. That's changing so much in the current technological environment. There are sites online like VoiceBank, Voice123, places like that you just sort of hear about it that way. If you live in a city with agents, you get representation and then they submit you.
Networking is always what I say. When you have a network of people, you're more likely to find work with that group of people. And then they'll recommend you to their network, and onwards to doing your job right.
Again, very good work ethic.
Yeah.
If people if people enjoy working with you, they're going to say, "Oh my gosh, Brittney was such a joy to work with, and she's so talented too." It actually just does wonders. But there's also websites as well. I'd be careful with Craigslist. But there's oh my goodness, Actors Access. Yeah, Actors Access.
Breakdowns.
Right. I don't use those websites personally, but I recommend them to anybody because they've gotten many of my friends different auditions. But basically, I get my auditions from the studios.
Yeah. And go create work. This is the only profession I know where people seem to walk in and think that you don't need a work ethic. Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Right.
Because what you don't see is there's 30 years of work behind whatever project of mine that you liked. I can say personally, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That you can walk in and just act.
Yes, you can stand on the street corner and act absolutely all day long. No one's going to pay you, but they may enjoy it. You may be amazing. Talent is 20% of it. Being told you're talented is almost a curse, because then you don't you have to work.
Absolutely.
You have to work. It is work. It's lovely work.
And it's a lot of persistence too. I mean, if you really want it, you'll get it, but you have to put in the work to get it. It's not going to come to you easily. So just know that getting in is going to take a while.
And if it does come to you easily, for the rare few where bing, you're in, and wow, look how easy that was. Yeah, keeping it is where the work's going to be required.
Exactly.
I have reinvented myself constantly.
And on top of that, another thing that can help you is taking classes. And taking classes with people you admire, taking classes with people you want to network with, especially classes that offer you experiences where you get to meet different people in different industries. Just creating that network and learning from them and learning from different people and how they take on different tasks is really going to help you.
Your blue hand is going to fall off. Yes.
I was wondering, from all those projects that you did for me, TV, games, and series, is there a possibility that almost every character that you work with are in? Because I seen you in one of the games, almost everyone who was in the last game was in another game.
Oh, so are you asking if we work together on purpose? If we work in the same groups on purpose?
I mean, I seen you, almost every character is from Grania. Is part of the mail. Is it rare to choose every character?
Is it rare to help me understand the last half of that
Like
sentence.
almost every character that was part of a grander series, almost like a reunion.
Yes, in a different one, or are you asking if we'll have a reunion?
No.
Okay.
It was like every
Sorry.
character from Metal Gear is part of a grander.
Yes, that's just a happy coincidence. It's just a happy accident that happened. Yes, thank you. Yeah.
I see a hand all the way back there. All the way back there. Yes, wiggling your fingers.
Do any of you have any tips or advice for breaking into the industry on the other side, audio production, directing, editing, stuff like that?
Ellen.
A lot of schools have programs, and you can even just take a class, one class. You don't have to go to get a whole degree in it or something. I recommend to people to go to a local public access radio station because they need people to volunteer for stuff. And you come in and you'll do grunt work, but you will learn how all that stuff works at a public access radio station. So it's a good way to get started. And I think in a lot of gaming, whether you're doing the audio end or whether you're doing the acting end, find out about people who are developing their own games and volunteer your services. We all have to do things for free in the beginning of our careers. Say yes.
Wait, that was just
do things for free. Do things for free.
On top of that, Ellen brought up a really great point. I went to PAX East this year and I met several game developers, and I haven't cast or direct many projects, and they had asked me, would you be interested in working with us, indie game companies? I said, absolutely, I'd love to get into that part of the business, and all of a sudden those games are getting publishers and they're getting a budget, so it's really great to just connect with people who are small and passionate, and things turn out great sometimes.
Also, following up on what Ellen said, same thing pretty much, that internships really do help you as well. And pretty much the same thing, but when you go to a school, like an audio engineering school or whichever, that teaches an audio engineering class, most of the time, studios will come by those schools and say, we're looking for interns. We're looking for interns to help us out. And again, as Ellen said, it's going to be grunt work, but it's a good place to get started because that's where you gain your experience. That's where you learn.
And what we call grunt work in this country, in other countries, is a great job.
Yeah.
Your hand's been up for a long time. Yes.
So what's the benefit of being a union voice actor versus being a non-union voice actor?
Well, I just went union, so the difference, I guess the benefit would be, well, that's a tough question.
Well, non-union is a great place to start.
Absolutely.
It's a place where you will work for quite a bit less money, you will have less protection, that work will be available to anyone, anywhere, forever, and you won't get paid for those extra uses most of the time. It's a great place to cut your teeth, it's a great place to learn. That's a wonderful benefit of non-union work. Union work, the union protects us. If it weren't for the union, we'd all be working for $5 a day and grateful for it. And the union protects us. It protects us from terrible working conditions. It protects us. It gives us a good wage. It gives us health care. It gives us a pension. It gives us someone to negotiate on our own behalf. There's a set rate. We don't have to go in and say, I don't know what you're going to pay me. I don't know. We go, it's this, apparently. So thank you. And it takes that out of the equation. It's an incredible benefit. So there's sort of an evolution to the whole thing, in my experience.
Yeah, but you can join the union too young. You are quite a young person. And my recommendation to you personally, don't join the union yet. Don't join the union yet. And there's something called, a Taft-Hartley law, that you can do some voice work. You can even do some union voice work.
Yeah.
Do it once.
Yeah, I would not. I'm actually not planning to do any profession. I'm actually not even planning to do amateur voice work yet. Not until my voice is finished changing. Because
Sure. But do you know that your voice changes your whole life? It changes, you're...
Not until after puberty, and
Well, right, exactly right. And young men, they have this very dramatic voice change. But young women, young girls, your voices change as well as young men. And our voices change our whole lives because your body is your instrument. And it's different every day depending on how much you slept, what you ate, what you have to say the day before, how much you sang, how much you screamed, how much you laughed. So you have to stay in connection with your instrument every day, sir. I'm looking around the corner at you. So that's sort of a different subject, but you know, the suggestion earlier that you just read out loud. Great suggestion for you to get started doing voice work. Just read out loud.
Yes, sir.
During any given project, what is the most satisfying part?
That moment when you hit something that is beyond anything and everybody thought was possible, and it's the sweet spot, and there aren't really words to describe it. Everyone just goes,
well, that's a loaded question. There's a lot of answers to that. Personally, I enjoy the whole thing, honestly. There's no, I mean, there's of course, there's greater moments than others, but for me, that's definitely one of them. But for me, it's when I think, I remember there have been a couple video games where we've done a take and the client has been so happy that they will start applauding. That always makes me happy. And also, when the director's happy, you're happy.
Yeah. I like when you take a risk on a read and you read it from a way that you're not sure will work or not, and the director's like that unexpected way that you read it, that's what I wanted. When you read and it's fresh and it's exciting.
I think for me, it's just getting in that realm of a character, like just staying in that realm for maybe like an hour to 4 hours and just playing, forgetting who you are for a moment. I really love that surreal kind of, and what Jennifer was talking about too, I really relate to those.
I'd agree with that. I think when you forget yourself and you're just the character, it's a great feeling.
Yes.
What are your favorite roles to play?
I like playing stuff very far outside the box, things that people don't expect from me. People are surprised that I can do it, and things where I walk in like, I did something on Dragon Age last Monday, and I'm still talking about it because I literally was scared to death going to work. I was like, how am I going to do this? Unfortunately, as Ellen said, our voice changes all the time. Right now, mine's lower than typically has because I had a virus a couple weeks ago, and it burned a lot of that area. It was quite useful on Monday. I went to the session, and I was like, how am I going to pull this off? And I did all this research, and it was one of those, I don't know if I can, wow! You know? Those are my favorites.
Villains are always fun to play.
Being crazy and being excited are two of my favorite things to play, so characters who get like that, I like that. It's fun.
I received I came up with a new goal yesterday, thanks to Jennifer.
Sorry.
Female Joker, all the way.
Yes!
All the way, man. It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
In a parallel universe, it already has.
Absolutely.
Yeah, in a parallel universe, they're like, male Joker, we want a male Joker.
Like I said yesterday, I think
Scotty, beam me up.
Yeah. Like I said yesterday, it's about time we had a female Joker.
It's beyond time.
Yeah, true.
Can we please go back to, never mind.
For me, it's the badasses. I've always been attracted to the badasses. I love them.
Guy with the big beard.
So how do you get into character? I understand that a lot of voice work is done solo in a studio and you don't even have the other actors around to be in conversation with. Do you just, sit and meditate for hours beforehand? Do you bring props? Do you dress up?
No.
Show up in your pajamas or what?
Technically, none of that is allowed. Like, I wouldn't wear this. Yeah. And I wouldn't wear I shop for clothes like this, because if they make sound, I can't buy them. Right. So you don't have anything available to you except what's between your ears, and what's in your heart.
And sometimes you don't even have that.
right?
I don't have any, it's going to sound like kind of a cop-out. I don't think any of us have, unless we've played the character before, we don't really have a lot of time to be able to get into character.
The most time we have is before the audition.
Right, yeah,
That's
exactly.
the greatest amount of time we have. So you've already done a lot of research. I'm working on something for next week, and for me, I just read it over and over and over for deeper and deeper level of a comprehension of the situation and understanding of the nuances of what's happening.
Right.
Yeah, usually we don't really have time to prepare very much. Like I'm reading something for next Monday, and it's very weird because it's like, we want you to prepare, and that's kind of weird. They're giving me like a week to prepare, and that's really super rare. But usually we have no time to prepare whatsoever. It's just like right there.
Yeah, and I will say that makes me think about something. I never prepare how I'm going to say something. To me, that is death. I prepare what my character wants, how they move in the world and get what they want, and what's the physical situation, where are we, what's the timeline, what's just happened. I prepare all those tiny elements, and then what the food turns out tasting like, I don't know, we'll see what happens when I get in there.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to get stuck in a read.
No.
Especially if the director wants it totally different and all you can do is that one read. It's bad.
Because what you're doing is you're manipulating and putting something on. And we're past that as a culture now. That would fly in the 50s, it would fly even in the 70s, but barely. But it doesn't fly now. You have to have an authentic experience, and people want to be moved because they've been moved and they know what that's like. Yes, anyone? Bueller?
Have any of you ever read a line that just made you burst out laughing? If so, what was it?
Oh God, yes, I can't remember.
I still don't know the context of it. That's why it's so funny. Well, do we have any underage children in the room?
Are there any minors?
Yes.
Little kids?
We have our gentleman back here who's interested in voice acting, who has not.
Right, we do. We have minors.
Okay.
And that's for another time.
Yeah. It's funny because it sounds more dirty than it actually is, but it's from the Blaze Blue franchise, and it's something that my character Lychee Failing says, and it's very funny. But either way, yes, many times, many times.
One of the things that I think you would.
When I was a potato.
Awesome.
When I played Miriam in Queen's Blade Rebellion, she's like in vibrating armor, and she's swinging her sword, and she says, "I'm doing this for my mother and my little brothers." And I was like, what is going on? Your mother would not like to see you wearing this.
I had one for Skullgirls, but I don't think it's safe to talk about.
No. NSFW.
Yeah.
Blue Arm.
I have a question. From all those projects you do from a TV, games, and movie series, is it very rare to play as a leading character or more than two characters?
Is it rare to play more than two characters?
Two characters in Totally Spies.
Yes. Yeah, it's yes, I have played multiple characters as leads, etc. I think we're all expected to go in with the ability to do multiple characters. It's not as frequent that I have done jobs where I'm arguing with myself. That is more rare, but it does happen. Yeah.
It definitely happens. My first project, the first project that I ever recorded, I ended up playing two characters. One was a little boy, and the other was
You were the Love Girl?
Yeah, that one. Yeah. In Magical Girl Lyrical Nanaha, I was Chrono, Harlown, and then Arf, and they talked to each other in one scene, and it was really weird. But interesting. That was my first show, and I went in originally cast as Arf, and then later on, the director said, "Well, hey, there's this little boy character that just came in. Can you read for him?" And I said, "Sure." So bless you. So I went in and I read for him, and then he said, "Congratulations, you're now Chrono." And I said, "Cool, okay, cool." And so then they ended up having a scene together, and that was kind of weird. It's different. Apparently, they do it differently in Texas at Funimation. But how I recorded it was, one day we would do Arf, and then the other day we would do Chrono, Because the problem with that is you can get kind of lost with each voice. You can kind of get stuck to one voice sometimes.
You have to be very, 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 very clear.
Yeah.
I remember with Totally Spies, we would take breaks between seasons, sometimes a couple of years.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
And the first time generally the first session back, I would have to like separate Sam and Mandy a little bit. And then after I kind of got my brain wrapped around it, a few lines in, I'd be like, okay, all right, I'm good now.
Right.
Because the keys for them,
Mandy's always here. She's in the nose.
and I kept Sam here in my chest. But it's not enough to do the separation there. I'd have to separate them rhythmically.
Right.
Like,
Mandy's got the staccato and the thing up here.
I can't do it well right now because I'm hoarse, but
And Sam was more of a smooth, flowing thing.
That would help to separate them as well.
You can get tricky.
Yeah, I do voice matching for Hasbro Apps and Games, and I play 5 of the ponies, and often they're like, all right, well, we need this tonight, and I'm like, whoo, that's a pretty tight deadline, it's 4 p.m. So it's a lot of distinguishing between the characters, especially with so many of the ponies sounding really high-pitched, but I try and take a little break between each of them and refresh what they sound like and read some key lines for me, and each of them have different rhythms and different vocal tics, and I try and very much incorporate each of those into every performance for them, especially when I have to do 5 of them by midnight, so.
Yeah, I did a project where I played 3 different characters. They had 3 different personalities and they were arguing with each other. And that was the most hardest thing I've ever done. So I had to take one day, all 3 days, just to record each of them separately, just because they're like, we can't have you record them all the same day because things are going to get messed up. So that was really hard.
Yeah, it's challenging.
Next question. I see an arm, yes, with the white hat. With the white with the ears and the blue, white and blue.
The Snorlax
So you guys were talking about how voice changes can mess you up and talking about keeping your voice healthy. So what are your tips and tricks for keeping your voice healthy and making sure that you don't get any if you do get into a project with that kind of suboptimal voice?
Get enough sleep. Drink enough liquids. Don't chit-chat all the time. Don't talk too much. None of us know how to do that.
And don't eat crap.
No.
It's so funny to me. Everybody here drive a car? Or most of us drive a car, have a car. Yeah, you wouldn't put sand in your car and then expect it to drive everywhere you want it to. So we're putting sand into our car, i.e. things that come in packaging in our bodies, and look at the back of that. Is any of that naturally occurring? No. You gotta, I don't know, you'll get what you put into it. You get out of it.
Tea is good. I like tea. And warm-ups are great.
Yeah, tea, and I usually warm up in like scales, just to get my levels right. So yeah, tea and scales for me.
Don't scales taste bad?
They're quite yummy. It's like chicken.
Yes.
What are some ways you work on enunciation?
Oh, tongue twisters.
Yeah.
Does anyone have a favorite?
Red leather, yellow leather.
Betty Butter bought some butter, but said she was butter's bitter. If I put it in my butter, it will make my butter bitter. Butter, bitter, butter, butter will make my butter, butter, better. That was not the rendition of it that I do going to work. Going to work, the proper rendition of it is Betty Butter bought some butter, but said she, because you really have to move your mouth and your muscles are going, what, hey, wait, it's morning.
And that's just that's like warm-ups again.
Yeah.
Very important. And you can't go into the studio without warming up. They expect you to have warmed up already.
You're getting paid.
Yeah, they're like, you're not wasting our time warming up. Like, let's get into it. So you better be warmed up before you get into that studio.
I heard a new one yesterday, Unique New York.
Oh yeah,
Oh, you've
Unique
heard of
New
the
York. Unique New York. I slit a sheet I slit, and on that slitted sheet I see.
Who sells seashells by the seashore? That one.
Let's do this all day.
Yeah, I know, right?
There's some like not safe for work ones too.
Yes, quite a few of those.
A lot of those.
So as actors,
Stand up.
it's generally exhilarating to get lost in a character, but does it also get frightening at some points? I mean, even if you're not voicing a villainous or evil character, does it ever feel like maybe like the eye, so to speak, is slipping away from you as you get lost in this character, or
That's a
is
good
it,
day.
or can you always maintain a strong sense of identity?
No, honestly, no, because I know that it may sound a little harsh, but I know that this character is fictional, so therefore there is that separation between reality and fantasy, and therefore no, it's never been a problem.
Yeah, and it also depends on the school of acting that you come from. In the, I've had multiple layers of training in different schools of thought, and what I use now is kind of an amalgam, but a piece of it, and I think the most contemporary piece is that it's all pieces of me that I am using. So, yeah.
Yeah, and to echo off that, I think each character is a piece of all of us. Like we all share that piece of that character. So that character is part of us. Like, that's what I say.
If you talk quantum physics, we're actually all the same organism.
It's pretty crazy.
Yes, blue dress. Oh, it's Belle. Hi, Belle.
I'm curious how you found your voices.
I think it was in my back pocket.
Voices as in...
How did you find the voices you use for each of them? Well, you each do very different characters, but how did you find, like, it was like, for instance, this is the voice for Princess. I know that immediately. This was the voice for Vlad. I was like, how did you know?
It's a collaborative effort. When Princess wasn't an audition, they just gave it to me, and I think I was doing another character, and they handed me that initially. And it's a co-creation. They're like, okay, first of all, you start with how old is she? She's 6. Okay. Any affectations physically that you ideally would love to hear? She's got a list. Okay, great. She's, when you hear the words like obnoxious, irritating, like, okay, I'm going up here. Okay, yeah. And then it comes out, for me, it comes out of the writing. I mean, entitlement is like air for her. It's just everywhere. So it's, yeah.
Writing has a big part, yeah, because without good writing, well...
Without any writing.
I know, yeah.
Wouldn't be here.
Without any writing, but when the writing is even better than what it's supposed to be, then that definitely helps develop character. It also really helps to see a picture of the character a lot. That helps a great deal, but sometimes when you don't have that, it's all you, baby.
Yep. Every character voice that I've done have been specific to different characters. I try and create the voice around creating a character. I think that's what we all are trying to communicate here. And so, like, as Jennifer said, age, like key like adjectives to describe them, and those are all, they all kind of show like where the voice will be put, like obnoxious up there, like huskier down here, like, so each vocal trait can be put in a different part of your body and helps you remember those things when you have to come back to a character.
Miss Lillian had a question.
I have a question, yes. As girls and women in this industry, what are some of the problems you've overcome, like maybe a really sexist line that you felt that you really didn't want to say, but you know, you have this role now, and so like, what are some of the problems that you don't like or you've overcome in the years that you've been working in this industry?
We got FemChef on the box.
Hey. I've never had a problem.
Luckily, I have never had a problem because I don't allow myself to get offended easily over that stuff. But I will say that, no, I don't have a problem with that. No. I'm typecast as a lot of sexy characters. I don't have a problem with that. That's very flattering to me. But some people would say, well, don't you get offended by that because it's typecasting? No. It's a character. It's a character that the director feels that I am good for. And that's how I look at it. And then when the product is finished, people like it. So obviously the director made a good choice. So no, I've personally never had that issue. But I would like to say, though, that wherever we've all overcome obstacles since we started our careers. We've had to start somewhere, you know. So I think anybody that starts anywhere in a job or in a work field, whatever, they always have obstacles to overcome.
Yeah, you know it just occurs to me in this conversation is that, you know, in my experience, the greatest obstacle has been in here.
Yeah.
If it's not an obstacle in here, it's not an obstacle.
Yeah.
You know?
Very much so.
Yeah.
I've never had a problem at all. That one did.
Everything's perception.
Yeah,
you
very
know?
much so.
Yeah. Yellow shirt, funky thing on your head.
I'm not sure how this is current voice acting, but I know as a stage actor, a lot of people have dream roles. What is your dream role?
My next one?
For stage? For stage?
Oh, for stage or for voice acting? For voice
Oh, for voice. Oh, I thought you were asking for stage. Well, for
What is
voice.
your stage one? 'Cause
My
you have
stage
one.
one.
You wanna
I have
say
a
it.
couple. I have a couple. Well, a couple of my favorite Shakespeare plays are Romeo and Juliet, so I'd love to play Juliet. I would love to play Viola in Twelfth Night. That's my number one favorite Shakespeare play.
You could do Kate beautifully though too.
Oh, really?
Yes.
As in Taming of the Shrew?
Yes.
Wow.
She's
That is a
underestimated.
huge compliment. Thank you. I love that. And what other? Oh God. See, I love this question. But as for voiceover, I would, and these ladies have heard this before. I'm a huge Batman nerd, like huge Batman fan. Joker man, female Joker. But because there is no female Joker yet, I would love to play Harley or Poison Ivy or Catwoman.
I think that's just become my new dream role.
Hey, female Joker? Hell yeah.
I'll share that with you.
I know, right? Let's see who's gonna get it.
No, we'll do it together. We'll do it together.
It'll be, dual tones, man. Oh, that'd be awesome.
You guys can have like alter egos.
There you go. Oh, that's awesome. We're gonna make it happen.
Yep.
Man, on the topic of Batman, I'd love to voice Batgirl, Barbara
Oh, I
Gordon.
can see
You know
where
what?
that'd
I
be
want to be
awesome.
Batman.
Yeah. Where's Chris?
What are we doing? What are we wasting our time
To be
for?
fair, though, you know the Batman, though. You know Kevin.
Yeah. And Dietrich, the other Batman.
Oh, nice.
He's here. Yes.
But on my demo reel, when I made it a few years ago, one of the inspirations for a character was watching Under the Red Hood and seeing how the young Robin acted before he became the Red Hood, and I was like, I like his attitude. That would be a dream role, young Robin, but also Batgirl.
Oh, I just thought of one.
Ooh, share.
Commander Adama in Battlestar Galactica.
I was just reminded because again, Batman, I love it. I love Mark Hamill as the Joker. He was amazing, and there have been very good Jokers after him. John DiMaggio as the Joker was incredible. He was
John DiMaggio
good.
reading the phone book is incredible.
He's fantastic. For those of you who don't know who John DiMaggio is, he played Bender in Futurama, and he's also Jake the dog in Adventure Time. So good. Anyway.
He's the darkest white man you've ever heard.
I know.
Very true.
On the topic of comic books, Danielle, I'd love to see you voice one of the characters in Saga.
You know I was going to bring that up. Who's heard of an awesome graphic novel comic book called Saga? That book is love on the eyes. I would love to, if that was made into a cartoon or anything, I'd love to be Elena. Be awesome. But on the topic of Batman, though, I'd love to be Poison Ivy.
That'd be
great.
Budget for.
I would love to. That would be great.
God, just...
Yeah.
What else?
Next question. Yes, sir.
No, yes, you.
Uh-huh.
Again? What does female Joker sound like when she laughs?
I'm not doing it today because I'm honoring my voice. So.
I'm the same way because my entire chest is filled with mucus right now. So fortunately, if I wanted to, I would die.
And that's under an NDA. An NDA is a non-disclosure agreement for this.
But I mean, yeah. So I would love to do it, but ask me when I'm not getting over a cold.
I have a question on which voice roles, which characters do you feel that relate to all of you?
All of them.
Yeah. Because they are us. Essentially, they're a part of us. I don't know.
I'm feeling very GLaDOS right now.
I'm feeling GLaDOS all over.
I don't know. I feel kind of giddy today, so I'm gonna in this moment, I'll probably go along with Squiggly from Skullgirls because she's adorable.
It's good to be out.
Yay. Okay. I heard a snort. All the way in the back. Yes, you.
There's no one behind you, honey.
It's gotta be you.
Come on down.
Stand up. Come on.
So when you guys work, do you find it more troubling or helpful to work with chemistry with someone else? Do you kind of get your own focus on your thing, or do you like playing
Off of somebody. It takes it to a whole new level. The what is it? The sum is greater than the total of its part. I can never get that expression right.
Is that math? Because I'm terrible.
Hey, I love math, and I can't get that one. Absolutely with other people, because then there's the unknown. I don't want to do anything I've planned. I want to plan all my prep stuff, all my backstory, all my elements, and then get in there with somebody and not know what's going to happen and watch it elevate to the level of actual human behavior.
I know that in anime specifically, I love to go in after someone's recorded in a scene because it's playing off of that actor, and I love that. I love that. But I've had to be the one that starts up the scene, that records first, and
Tell me about it.
I know, it's so difficult.
Tell me about
it. It's hard because you're the one that leads the scene essentially, but then once the actor comes in, they read off of you, and then so it's kind of planned in a way. But either way, I love it when I come in after an actor has recorded. So that's a lot of fun.
Because we get to hear them as well and
Yes.
interact. In the blue hat. Me? No, she has glasses right there.
Yes, they're lovely.
Stand up.
Hi.
Hi, Flo.
Oh, progressive!
Do you guys ever feel like somebody just has an unattractive voice? Like, are there people who just have ugly voices?
No. No. My God, no. 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 I'm sorry. Someone's voice is the expression of their soul.
But you know, you all, Connecticut had Joe Lieberman. Wasn't he a senator from here? That man had the worst vocal production I've ever heard. And I always wanted to give him a voice lesson. Because I really worried about the way he was producing his vocal sound. So I won't say that he had an ugly voice. I just felt, I could feel his throat constricting all the time, every time he tried to say something. So I was worried for him.
And that's what interests me, because when someone speaks, you can hear everything. You can hear what they have permission to do. You can hear whether or not they're breathing. You can hear where they're from. You can hear who. The other day, I was working with someone, and he was speaking, and his rhythm was really quite the opposite of the way he appeared visually. His rhythm was really wound tight, and I was like, "Do you live with, or what are your parents from another country?" And he said, "Oh well, no." I'm like, "Okay." So do you have a friend that you hang out with a lot? Someone was Chinese and has a particular, very structured rhythm that didn't match. Like you can hear that stuff in people's voices. You can hear where they are in their life. You can hear what they're feeling. You can hear everything. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's kind of that way. When you hear someone's voice, it's their own voice. It's unique in a way. Like, what is his name? Gilbert Foster.
Yeah.
He has a very unique voice. It's not ugly, because without his voice, you wouldn't have Iago from Aladdin. You would just have some other act. God, I can't even imagine anybody else playing Iago.
Oh, let's see.
We have 5 minutes left, so just a few more questions. Too.
Has there been anybody that has not asked a question yet? Yes, all the way in the back, green shirt. Yes, you.
Have you ever gone back and listened to an old voice that you've done and just thought that you wish you could have done it differently, or?
Most of them.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the first show I did.
I mean, as an actor and actress, you're always growing, and you're always learning new things, and you're always having new experiences that, like, even from, like, being here today, like, there's so much things I'm learning from the way all of you produce your voices and how you talk and stuff. I'm like, wow, I should apply that to a character sometime. And so you're constantly learning and constantly discovering new things about yourself and what you can put into characters.
I gotta hear the question from the orange hair. Yeah, who else?
Yes. What is your favorite GLaDOS insult of a test subject?
I haven't said it yet.
Verbal reconfirmed.
Thanks, you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.